This is a short introductory video into using the field calculator for tables in ArcMap. It's a very simple and useful tool that's used in data management in several different ways. Uh, the more you use it and understand it, the more uh, complex your field calculations can become. But the three things I'd like to go over today are very simple, straightforward. We have assigning values, so just filling in each cell with a designated value. We can copy data over from existing columns. And then the last thing is performing mathematical functions, which we'll just do a basic division and calculate a rate, but you can definitely get more in depth when you bring in uh, bigger numbers or dates and different things that might pertain to your project. So jumping into ArcMap, you can see here that I have a map of zip codes in Florida, and then I have a sheet which, if I open it up, I'll show you. We're going to use this in a bit. I've got 3 zip codes here with some made-up cases of some disease, and then a population per zip code that I made up as well. And we're going to get back to that, but just to show you the data that we're working with. So that I am going to show you is actually copying data over from another field. It's probably most commonly done thing with a field calculator. So if I open my attribute table, um, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy all the information from my postcode field over into this zip code field at the end that I've already added. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to join my sheet of my zip codes that I have information to my zip codes. And these came in as a double field. If I open this up and look at the properties for this, it's a double. So if I come back to Florida zips, this postcode field is actually a string. So what I did is I created that zip code field on the end and made it a double. And I'm going to copy this information over so that it gets converted, the data type gets converted, and I can perform that join. So very easily, I'm just going to right click on zip code, go to field calculator. You can use VBScript or Python, it's up to you. I prefer using Python, but it will bring in the specific syntax that's required. And pretty easily, I just want to double click on postcode. So what I'm saying here in this code block is that the field zip code is going to be equal to that of postcode, and I can hit OK. And you can see it copied over the values for each one, and now I can perform my join. So that's copying data from a different field. The other thing that you can do is assign specific numbers. So if I came back into my field calculator and, for instance, I wanted all of these to be one zip code 32301, I could hit OK on that and it would calculate every one of them to 32301. The other thing I can do is I can select a few individual records. So I'll just do these 4. And it's only going to run the field calculator on those 4 that I have selected. So if I want to make these 3230, 32399 and hit OK, you can see it just changed those 4, but it left all the other ones existing. So I'm just going to clear this out. I'm going to come back in here, go to field calculator, and make sure these are equal to postcode so that I can perform my join. Clear that. We're going to join these real quick. Now you can see here, because this is string, if I went to postcode, it's not going to pick up any of those fields because everything that I have in that existing sheet 1 is a number. So as I just showed you, I copied everything to zip code and made it a double, and now it picks up zip. because that's the first one in there, but it matches. And I'm just going to hit OK, and it performed those joins. Okay, so now I just need to select those zip codes, and I can do my next function in the field calculator. I'm just going to go into this attribute table, and what I'm going to do is select all of them where the cases are null, and then switch that selection. So there's two. So two of them joined. For some reason the third one didn't, but I'm not too worried about it. So these two up here joined and brought over the cases. So if I open this up, you can see that I've got the zip codes 301 and 303 that joined. They each have their cases and their population per zip code. So what I would like to do is just calculate the percentage of the population that were infected or that reported cases of this disease. So very simply, I'm going to again just add a field called percent pop. I'm going to make it a float because it'll be a percentage, and hit OK. Adds that on the end. And I'm going to come back into my field calculator. And this time I'm going to do a very simple mathematical equation. I'm going to come back into Python, and I'm just going to say that I want number of cases divided by, so you can either type it or you can use these handy little buttons, divided by the population, and it wrote that for me. You can see here there's all your functions. There's a lot of different functions here. You can look up later what all of them are for if you want to get a little bit more complex with it. But this is simply just a division. I can hit OK, and it spits out my number for me. So that's really easily just putting a mathematical function in there. You can just use fields as variables, or you can, if you'd like, you can just do straight numbers as well if you just want to do 10 divided by 5. And there you go, you got 2. So it's up to you, it's up to what your project needs are. So that is assigning values, copying data, and performing mathematical functions. Here's my information if you have any questions about that. If you have any problems with your functions and need help writing them. You can also go to this website. This is the ArcGIS desktop resources page, and it's the fundamentals of field calculations. So thank you very much.